101 Ways to Transform Your Life. Written by Wayne Dyer and narrated by ALIO Voices. Transforming your life is a very powerful and exciting thing to undertake. Think about this word, transform. Break it down into two words, if you will. The second word is form. It means the physical world that you live in and all the boundaries that we experience in our life. That's our form. It's our body. And then trans, which is a prefix that is put in front of our form. The prefix trans means to go beyond, to soar above, to go past. So transforming really means going beyond your form. That is, going beyond the limits of your body, if you will. I am presenting 101 specific ideas that you can use each and every day to transform or go beyond your form, your life. And transforming your life is not something that is a very involved and difficult process. It can be done in any given moment in your life, even as you listen to this. There are many ways that you can use it. You might want to just listen to one thought each day, let it sink in, and meditate on it over and over again in the morning. Or you might want to listen to 10 of them and let them just sort of roll around inside of your head, and then go back and replay them. Feel free to use them over and over again in your life. They are designed to help you understand how powerful your thoughts really are. You can change your life in a matter of moments by doing one simple thing. Change the thoughts you think and the words you speak. Your internal dialogue has an enormous effect on every aspect of your life, and you can alter it in a positive way, beginning right now. I call this 101 Ways to Transform Your Life. Transform, going beyond your form. Listen to each thought, let it sink in, and begin putting it into practice, beginning now. Number 1. Know in your heart that there is an invisible intelligence in everything, and you have the power to make contact with this divine intelligence and create a life of bliss. There is something divine that rolls through all things. You can't get a hold of it. A little seedling has treeness in it when it is put into the ground. You can't see treeness, and you can't see the tree, yet you know it is in there. Same with you. You have greatness. You have an energy that is so powerful that it flows through you and in everything that you come into contact with. Know it. Begin to trust it, and you'll find yourself experiencing transformation in your life. Number 2. Begin to look inward rather than outward. This is your sacred quest. The doorway to higher levels of awareness in your life opens inward, and most of us spend our lives facing the wrong way, looking outside of ourselves for the solutions to our problems, where inward, that silent, quiet, empty space within us, is where the universal intelligence lies. This is where your essence as a human being is. Number 3. Realize that everything that happens in your life has something to teach you. Become aware that there are no accidents in our intelligent universe. Appreciate everyone and everything in your life. You need to begin looking inward at who you are and why you are here, instead of outward at the physical world or anything in it. This is a day of appreciation, a day of being in all bewilderment of everything that you come into contact with. Appreciate your liver, appreciate your eyes, appreciate your legs, your feet, appreciate your mind and everything that you come into contact with. Instead of judging them, just appreciate them. Number 4. Draw your inner energy from the beauty that surrounds you. When you do so, this energy reception will become a source of strength and sustenance in your life. As you begin practicing beauty appreciation, seeing it in all things that you encounter, including all people, you begin to see the fullness of God in everyone. Rather than finding something to judge, you will find a new kind of bliss in your everyday life. Number 5. Be peaceful. Experience silence. and meditate. And really listen to God. The result will be that you will find the solution to each and every one of your problems, whether it be related to relationships, or finances, or health, or self-image, all within yourself. The peace and the quiet solitude all comes from an understanding that God's one and only voice is silence. As Herman Melville reminded us, if you can just be still and peaceful, even for one moment today, and just go within, you can find a bliss that perhaps you've never known. Number 6. Forgive yourself for your transgressions. See that mistakes are lessons for you to transcend. Release yourself from the tyranny of self-recrimination. Make the decision to be free. Everything that's ever happened to you in your life has happened for a reason. And when you are filled with an absence of self-forgiveness, or you are full of recriminations about what you did, or shouldn't have done, or what you should have done, all of these kinds of things are really a message you're sending to the universe, saying God's plan doesn't work, and yours does. That's really an insidious thing to say. Everything that you've done or experienced is over, and you had something to learn from it. So forgive yourself and move on with your life. Number 7. When you seek happiness for yourself, it will always elude you. When you seek happiness for others, you will find it yourself. Write down that ancient truth and reread it or re-listen on a daily basis. Number 8. Attempt to remove all enemies from your thoughts. The same intelligence that flows through you flows through all human beings. When you know that you are connected to all, you cannot fathom striking out at others, let alone feeling hatred for them. Or another way of saying it is, on a round planet, there's no choosing upsides. We are all here for a reason. We all have the same divine energy flowing through us. And when we stop thinking of ourselves as separate from everyone else, we begin to see and experience the love that we are here for in the first place. In my opinion, God doesn't want us to love God. God wants us to learn to love each other. That's what it means to be a holy being, to not have enemies, to love each other. That's truly what loving God is about. Number 9. Be open and release everything that you hate. Release everything that you have been told is impossible or unrealistic, and allow yourself the freedom to make your own contract with God about what is possible for you. Examine all of the doubts that you have about miracles and miracle workers, and replace the doubts with openness. Number 10. Keep in mind that grievances bring turmoil, while communication brings peace. If you are angry at someone in your life, work at communicating with that person about your aggrieved feelings, no matter how difficult it may be. One of the things that really destroys relationships is the unwillingness to talk, or be open about the things that are difficult for us to talk about. So even if it's something that you feel inside you cannot do, just push aside that impossibility and say to yourself, I'm going to talk to my spouse, my lover, my daughter, my mother, my son, whomever, about these things. And the talking is a way of releasing the energy that is built up, that creates all of the turmoil that we live with, that destroys relationships. Number 11. Lighten your material load starting today. As you do so, less energy is spent hoarding and ensuring and moving and polishing and so on. The less attracted you are to your possessions, and the more you are able to share them with others unconditionally, the more peaceful your life will be. See how many things you can give away that you no longer use, and don't ask anything for it in return. And don't tell anybody else that you did it. Just give, not to get, but just for the beautiful soulful notion of unburdening your soul with all that material stuff that you no longer need. Number 12. Work at being content with who you are, rather than pleasing others by being unauthentic. Say to yourself, I am what I am, and it is okay, as long as I am not hurting anyone else in the process. You have a right to be who you are. The only morality that you have to be concerned with is whether somebody else is being hurt with you being who you are. You don't have to apologize for anything or anyone. You don't have to apologize to anyone for anything that you are. It is a wonderful affirmation. I am what I am. Say it over and over again today. Number 13. Your thoughts create your reality. Remember that what you think about expands. Since you have the power to make your inner world work for you or against you, use it to create the images of bliss that you want to occur in your material world. Eventually, that inner bliss will be the blueprint you consult as the architect of your everyday life. Your thoughts create your reality. Once you truly know this, you will start being very careful about what you think about. Number 14. Let go of the concept that more is better. This idea keeps us exclusively in the physical domain. You can replace the more is better belief with an inner serenity that does not need more to be acceptable. Let me ask you this rhetorical question as you consider this transformative thought. Where is the peace in more is better? Of course you know the answer. There is no peace in more is better, and if it doesn't bring peace to your life, then it is something that you want to discard. Number 15. Get back to nature today in some way. Give yourself time in the woods, trekking in the mountains, walking in open meadows, or walking barefoot on the beach. When you take the time to drink in the beauty of the natural world, you will release your belief that accumulations are needed for you to feel complete. The wilderness is natural therapy. Even if you live in a city, you can just walk barefoot along the grass in the park someplace, or even your backyard. You'll find yourself feeling much more blissful. Number 16. Your life is the product of all of the choices that you have made up until now. Today, shed your fault-finding tendencies. Know that you are the creator of your life, and that a loving presence is always with you. Your ability to be self-reliant will overtake your habit of assigning blame. No one else is to blame for anything that is going on in your life. Circumstances don't make a man. They reveal him, as James Allen once said. Number 17. I will love my neighbor as I love myself. Adhere to the most important guideline ever passed on to us from the spiritual world. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Make this a daily affirmation in your life. Beginning today, I will love my neighbor as I love myself. Number 18. Make an attempt to think globally rather than locally. People who look different or speak a different language or have different beliefs are still a part of us. We are all now here together in the eyes of the loving presence. There are no favorites. Number 19. Relax about the future. Let it go. Instead, make an active commitment to enjoy this day. Go beyond that, and it becomes very difficult to accomplish anything. When you're stressed out over the outcome, relax. Get peaceful. Become inspired and efficient. Inspiration comes from in spirit. When you're in spirit, you are inspired. The future isn't something you need to be worried about. Be totally consumed with now, which is all there is, all there ever has been, and all there ever will be. Now. Number 20. Learn to allow others to work out their difficulties without feeling that you are the only one who can fix things. Your ego is pushing you to intervene, while your higher self wants you to experience peace and harmony. Choose the latter. Allow your higher self to rule. Let other people work out some of the things that don't have to be right all of the time. Number 21. In my world, nothing ever goes wrong. Put that affirmation in as many places as possible. Write it down. Look at it each day and let it remind you that everything that is happening to you is in divine order, comes with a lesson, and live your life in the spiritual world as a spiritual being having a human experience. You become the witness to your life, and as you witness that, you say, nothing is going wrong. These are not problems that I have to be absorbed with, or things that I have to be neurotic over. I am simply a witness. I'm going to watch them, learn from them, and understand that they're all in order, even the ones that I don't understand, and the ones that I don't like. Realize that nothing ever truly goes wrong, because we live in a spiritual world. You are the observer, and you are not all of the boundaries and all of the forms and all the things that we call problems. Number 22, be conscious of your thoughts. Get to know the makeup of your internal dialogue. Know that any thoughts you repeat that are contrary to your divine eternal essence are keeping you from experiencing the joyous and complete life you deserve. Number 23, make an attempt to tame your ego by catching yourself when you persistently use the pronoun I. You can make the decision to take the focus off of yourself. The more you cut back on I, the more personal freedom you will experience. Make a conscious effort to start more sentences with you rather than I. Instead of making self-references, just inquire about the other person. Number 24, remember that you are not your country, you are not your race, you are not your religion. You are an eternal spirit. Seeing yourself as a spiritual being without labels is a way to transform the world into a sacred place for all of humanity. Another way of saying that is that you are not what you notice that you are. Number 25. If you are engaging in addictive behavior of any kind, ask God for help. The most effective way to rid yourself of the addiction is to go directly to your higher self and turn this problem over to God. That's right. Just turn it over. Surrender, knowing that the highest force in the universe is within you. Simply say, God, I am turning this addiction over to you. I've tried everything else. Now I'm trying you. Allow the higher part of yourself and allow God in to help remove those temptations of the senses, the things you think you can't live without. Number 26. Practice releasing the emotions of fear and guilt and replace them with love and forgiveness and kindness. When you are feeling guilty about your past conduct, remind yourself that you are inviting turmoil into your life. Release the guilt by forgiving yourself and vowing to avoid this kind of conduct in the future. Guilt is a waste of your mental energy. Everything that you've done is over. It all had a lesson for you. Using up your present moments feeling bad about it is only one more way to keep yourself from being fully and spiritually alive in the present. Send guilt out of your life. Beginning this is just a thought away. Number 27. Accept the seeming contradiction that your body will die and that you are eternal. Surrender to this fact when someone dies and stop telling yourself that his or her death shouldn't have happened the way that it did. You can surrender and you can grieve. You do not die. That which was never born never dies. You are an eternal spirit, formless. You are transforming your life. Going beyond form means that you, the real you, the observer within, is ageless and timeless. But that which it is observing or noticing is bound by the need for things to begin and end. Number 28. Make a daily effort to look upon others without condemnation. Every judgment takes you away from your goal of peace. Keep in mind that you do not define anyone with your judgments, but only find yourself as someone who needs to judge. Or as it says in the New Testament, judge not, lest you too be judged. Number 29. Give yourself the gift of a silent retreat every day, even if it is just for a few moments. Go back to that key to higher awareness of shutting down that inner dialogue, and know that this is your ticket to peace. You can just simply close your eyes at any given moment and retreat to that inner divine place that Robert Frost described in his poetry. We all sit around in the ring and suppose, while the secret sits in the center and knows there is a secret within you, and you can only access it through silence. Give yourself a moment of silence. It's the greatest tribute we can ever pay to anyone. A moment of silence. Give yourself the same opportunity of one moment of silence. Number 30. When you have the choice to be right or to be kind, always choose kind. Remember that you have that choice in all of your daily interactions, and this one key of being kind rather than right in any interaction that you have will do more for transforming your life than any course you could ever take, or any book you could ever read, or any tape you could ever listen to. Be kind and give up your need to be right. Number 31. Avoid exaggerating or changing facts for the purpose of impressing others today. This quality may be cute in a child, but in an adult is a way of relying on the ego to keep illusions alive. Persisting in this practice keeps you from knowing your higher self, which needs no exaggeration to feel important in the eyes of others. Number 32. Remember that your past must have taught you the wrong message if these messages do not bring you peace and happiness today. Do not be afraid to let go of those beliefs if they do not promote a sense of peace for yourself. Being peaceful is what your higher self wants. It's what transforming your life is all about. Any thought or any belief that you have that keeps you from peace in your life is one you want to discard. No matter how long you've had it, how much you've cherished it, what the tradition is in your family or in your country, if it doesn't bring you peace, you don't really need it. Number 33. Judge not. If you see someone who is very different from you in physical appearance, or in agency, or in economic status, use your mind to send them love, rather than a judgmental thought. We have so many of those judgmental thoughts when we see someone who is older, or someone who is younger, or of different customs than we have, or when we see someone who wears different jewelry, or has body decorations, or tattoos, or something that we don't go along with. When you see someone like that today, whoever they may be, whether it be someone who is begging on the street, or someone who is wearing a certain kind of clothes, or acting in a certain way, as you're driving by or walking by, instead of judging them, see the unfolding of God in them. Send them love rather than judgment. Number 34. Begin to change the vocabulary you use to describe yourself and your expectations. Instead of saying, maybe if I'm lucky, or perhaps, or I never will, use words and phrases such as absolutely, certainly, and I know I can. When you use these kinds of words that reflect an absence of doubt, you will begin to conduct your life in the same way. Watch out for those things that communicate to others and to yourself that you don't really have within you the capacity to manifest what you want for yourself and your life. Number 35. If there is someone in your life that you love, tell them how you feel, even if you are afraid to do so. By taking action against your fear of intimacy, you invite your higher self, that is, your loving presence, to replace your ego's non-loving fear tactics. Just tell them I love you, and if you feel any fear, do it anyway. Number 36. You cannot have a better past, so abandon that idea right now. You did what you knew how to do, given the circumstances of your life. Instead of indulging in regrets, let your thoughts remain on love, and let your actions stem from that love. The past is over, and you did what you knew how to do. You no longer are that person, so don't fill yourself with blame or ask what you might have done in the past. Acknowledge that your soul learned from it, and know that today, you are a new human being. Number 37. Let go of all the beliefs that convince you of your inadequacies and shortcomings. Clean out that closet of worn-out loyalties to what you can and cannot do. Just open yourself up to right now, in this moment. Just be. Number 38. Spend the day silently reciting the word love whenever you encounter another human being. This practice has such a positive effect that you may choose to use it as a silent background mantra throughout your day. Just repeat it over and over inwardly. And the more you say it, you can begin to feel the expression emanating and radiating outward from yourself. Number 39. Make an attempt to shift your career objectives from self-absorption to a calling. Use your talents and your special interests to fulfill your service with your calling. Your life work will take a dramatic shift toward abundance, and you will begin to feel that you are on purpose. You are in purpose, and you have a calling. You are here for a heroic mission. Everything that you do in this day is a part of that calling, and you begin to rid yourself of some of the extraneous kinds of things and judgments that you have about your life. Number 40. Practice giving without receiving. Send anonymous contributions or gifts. Pay the toll of the car behind you, or money to someone's parking meter. A feeling of peace and contentment will be the reward. Number 41. Be still and know. These 4 words will help you get to know the bliss of being here and now. When you allow yourself to be still, you will understand the futility of constant chasing after more. Keep those 4 words in mind today. Be still and know. Number 42. In the midst of a tumultuous meeting or a frantic encounter with your children, get up and excuse yourself. Just for a moment. Give yourself 5 minutes to get centered, and then ask God this question. What is my purpose here, and how may I serve you in the midst of all this confusion? Simply removing yourself from the turmoil and talking with God for just a moment will give you inspiration to transcend turmoil in tumultuous moments. Number 43. Spend special moments in awe of the miracle that life truly is. Reflect in awe with a loving appreciation for God's work in the presence of the divine intelligence. Number 44. Curb your need to be right. If you truly want to work on this area of restraining your ego, then simply respond to what someone has just said without offering an argument or even a piece of advice. As you practice this technique, your ego will fade and your relationships will improve. Number 45. Notice the acts of kindness that other people do, rather than their wrongdoings. We are all good, decent, and loving souls, but we occasionally get lost. When you can focus on the good in another and hold that in your mind, you're acting from your higher self, and this is called transforming your life. Number 46. Keep a journal. In it, describe what offends you about other people. If you can be objective, you will find that what offends you is really a judgment about how others ought to be behaving. These judgments are that false idea of yourself that is convincing you what the world ought to be, rather than as it really is. Number 47. Give more of yourself and ask less in return. When serving others becomes a priority, you will start asking the universe on a daily basis, how may I serve? It's a wonderful mantra. How may I serve? Number 48. If your first inclination is to have a judgmental thought about the physical appearance of someone else, notice what you are doing and redirect your thought to consider the fullness of God within that person. Number 49. Entertain the thought that you remove habits from your life by coaxing them downstairs, one step at a time. Try to catch individual toxic thoughts in the moment they are occurring, one moment at a time, one day at a time, and you will be able to achieve the transition from toxicity to purity in your life. Number 50. Develop a sense that anything that is destructive to one human being is destructive to all. Know that the essence of life force that flows through you flows to everyone. That awareness will give you a loving energy that will help to bring all of us together. Number 51. As you think, so shall you be. Get a clear picture in your mind of something that you would like to see happen in your life, perhaps a job or an opportunity, a new love, quitting an addictive behavior, or anything else in mind. Keep your inner focus on this picture and don't allow anyone else to smear it. Extend love outwardly with this picture in mind. The results will be worth it. Your effort will manifest what you picture in your mind. As Proverbs says, as you think, so shall you be. Number 52. Be aware of your thoughts. Remind yourself that the simple act of thinking is evidence that there is an invisible energy that flows through you at all times. Every thought that you have, even though you can't see it, can't get a hold of it, has no boundaries and no form. It is still there, still real, still divine. That's who you are. Even though it's in another dimension, other than your form. When you practice living there, you are trans, beyond the form that is your body, form that is your physical. Number 53. Have conversations with God in private. These are important moments. During these conversations, instead of asking for personal favors, affirm your willingness to use all of your inner strength to create solutions. Number 54. Develop your inner faith. The kind of faith I'm describing here does not need a religious service or holy book. It comes from having the direct inner experience of God. Number 55. Let go of any repetitious inner dialogue about the horrors and tragedies of the world. Know that everything that happens is perfect. Even the parts that you dislike. All of your opinions about how things should take place are nothing more than opinions you have of how God should be orchestrating this play. There is wonder in the world, and there are problems in the world. William Blake said it so beautifully. As you think about this affirmation for today, in his poem he said, "Man was made for joy and woe, and when this we rightly know, through the world we safely go." Joy and woe are finely woven clothing for the soul. Keep that in mind and get rid of all these ideas that all of the woes shouldn't be happening. It's all in order and divinely guided for one grand heroic lesson. Number 56. Consider the possibility of totally eradicating your personal history from your consciousness and simply living completely in the present moment. You will find a new freedom that you realize that you aren't relying on the way things used to be to define your life today. Get rid of all of the labels that you placed on yourself about all of the things that you are. Number 57. Slow yourself down with moments of contemplative silence. Do nothing in these moments. Appreciate your body and all of your physical universe. Notice the inner waves of pleasure that you experience in the silence. Number 58. Know that you are a soul with a body, rather than the reverse. Remember that your soul cannot be measured or observed with the tools that we use to view the material world. That's a different world, and that invisible divine world, that's the world we want to connect to transform your life. Number 59. Release the idea that a failed relationship makes you a failure. There are no failed relationships. Every person who enters and exits your life does so in a mutual sharing of life and divine lessons. All of us have people who come into our lives for a short time, and some have longer roles. There is no failure. It's all in divine order. We all have people who enter our life in order to help us create the world that we showed up here to fulfill in our heroic mission. Number 60. Know that you are an eternal and purposeful being. Be secure and serene, with no need for compliments or reassurance that you are in one way or another more special or distinct from others. We are all children of God, no outcasts, all one. For this is a universe. Una means one. One verse, one song, and like any song, our universe is composed of many elements, which are all essential for that universe to be as it is. We don't need to think of ourselves as special, because the moment we do, we make someone else not special. And if all of us are special, we don't need a word like special to define us. Special is the work of the ego. You don't need your ego here. You're here working at your higher self, which says you are a creation and extension of God. Number 61. Make love the focus of your life. When this is the case, you have no expectations about how others should respond to your actions. Your higher self invites you to serve and give without any anticipation of a reward. Number 62. Simplify your life. In the words of Thoreau, simplify. As you do, so you will discover that many items previously chased after, including money, will ironically begin to show up in your life without your pursuing them. This is one of the great ironies of life. Less is more. More is less. Number 63. Take full responsibility for all of the events in your life. When you blame something outside of yourself for the circumstances you are experiencing, you give control of your life to that outer phenomenon. When you release blame and go within, you always find what you need. Number 64. Trust your intuition. Quietly affirm that you will define your own reality and that your definition will be based on your own inner wisdom. I always think of intuition like this. If prayer is you talking to God, then your intuition is God talking to you. Trust it, and you won't go wrong. Number 65. Stop paying so much attention to the superficial pursuits of your life. Learn to tune within. Become acquainted with this part of yourself and believe in the energy of the loving presence which is always a part of you. Number 66. Release the false idea that you need to prove to anyone that you have acquired the necessary credentials to be considered a success. Success is not measured by external. It comes from within. Success is an inside job and is not validated by anything or anyone outside of yourself. Number 67. Remind yourself that every negative thought that you have about another is something you're thinking about yourself. Replace these negative thoughts with positive ones, and your self-esteem and your self-worth will grow accordingly. Number 68. Be aware of the fact that everyone who comes into your life in any capacity is valuable. Petty tyrants are just as divine as those who provide you with encouragement and support. Those whom we judge to be unfortunate or evil can teach us our greatest lessons. Petty tyrants may appear to us as petty and tyrannical, but they may be divine masters just disguised as petty tyrants to teach you something that you didn't know you had to learn. Number 69. Know that you don't really have to do your best at everything you do. Your best leaves no room for improvement. You're better off to simply do and enjoy and be willing to learn, rather than putting the standard of having to do your best at all times. With everything that you do, just do. Number 70. Try on the concept that beliefs restrict you, while knowings empower you. A belief is merely a mental note attached to your lapel. Knowing is etched into the cells of your being, and therefore lives within you, with an absence of doubt. Everything that you believe was handed to you by someone outside of you, and therefore it has holes attached. Everything that you know comes from within. Beliefs restrict you, while knowing empowers you. Number 71. Release your fear of disapproval. You do not need it. You are a divine creation of God. When you know that you are in a spiritual mission, become independent of the good opinions of others as it concerns your purpose. Number 72. Appreciate the beauty around you. Allow love to circulate from you to your environment, and then back to you. The more you practice receiving love from your surroundings, the more energized you will become. Number 73. If you doubt your ability to know God, then know that if you are alive, you have the life force of God within you. It's as simple as that. Your aliveness confirms the existence of the highest awareness within you. God is within you. God is alive. God is the divine energy that flows through all things and creates all things. Number 74. Drop the notion that you are what you do. Remember this exercise in logic. If you are what you do, then when you don't, you aren't. Number 75. When you find yourself troubled by anything, say out loud, "I am more than what bothers me." Number 75. When you find yourself troubled by anything, say out loud, "I am more than what bothers me." Just a simple statement. Affirming yourself as something more than a receptacle for troubles keeps you from allowing these troubles to run rampant in your daily life. I am more than what bothers me. I am more than what troubles me. I am the one that is noticing those things, not the things that I am noticing. Number 76. Remember that you are here on earth for one purpose: to love and to be loved. When you concentrate on this, everything in life seems to flow more easily. Number 77. Practice listening to others. Today, while keeping the focus off of yourself during conversations, concentrate on what the other person is saying. Then respond with a sentence that begins with you, such as, "You seem to be having a tough day today," rather than what you want to tell them about yourself. Number 78. Remind yourself every day that the highest worship of God is service to mankind, and that it is through those acts that your spiritual quest will be realized. You do not need to convince others that you are divine or inner awakening of joy and bliss. Number 79. Try not to compare yourself to others as a measure of your performance or feelings of success. Doing so can bring about an erroneous idea that God plays favorites in some way, or that you are better or more highly favored when you seem to be ahead of someone else. There are no favorites. There is no one better. We are all one. We are all designed according to our own perfect purpose. Comparing yourself to others is an exercise in futility, because you will never be them, and they will never be you, as we imagine ourselves to be, typically. Engaging in the futility of comparing ourselves to others incessantly somehow implies that God doesn't really know what's going on. Number 80. Examine everything that offends you and see if you can get your ego out of the picture. Something offends you and you're thinking it's awful, but God allowed it. Release your ego and act upon that which you are. For that there will be no need to fight. Everything that you are empowers you. Everything that you're against, whenever you have to fight, makes you weaker. Number 81. Resist the need to be boastful about yourself. Strive to be interested rather than interesting, because the listener, the one who cares about the accomplishments and activities of others, will not need to distort their personal storyline at all. Number 82. Practice generosity. People who give willingly of their possessions and their money are not doing it because they have it to give. It's coming from a special heart space that is attractive. Serving and sharing. We can all give something in the service of others and in the service of our higher selves. Number 83. Know that love is the least threatening experience there is. Love asks and demands nothing, calls for forgiving, sharing, and vulnerability with God. It is your inner guide communicating infinitely. Number 84. Avoid dictating to those who are smaller, younger, or less educated. We are all at different stages on the spiritual path. None of us is better than anyone else. We are just different. Number 85. Allow your higher self to guide you. When you have problems, create a sentence that you repeat silently, such as, "Please decide this for me. I leave it in your hands." This may seem like a cop-out, but I found this technique helpful in many problem areas of my life. Turning to God is like turning to the higher part of yourself and asking for the guidance to make the right decision at that moment. Number 86. Remind yourself that God created you in perfect love that is changeless and eternal. Your body is changing, as is your mind, so you are not the body or that mind. You were created as a spirit that is pure love. That is where you want to keep your attention focused on. The spirit that is pure love. Number 87. Free yourself from addictions. That is, addictions to substances such as drugs, alcohol, sugar, caffeine, or more abstract concepts such as approval and danger and sexual conquests. All this is just your ego at work. When you know that you have the presence of God within you, you will no longer be addicted to external trappings. Number 88. Begin keeping track of the judgmental thoughts that you allow in your thoughts each and every day. Increasing your awareness of the judging habit will help you consult your loving presence as the judgmental attitudes begin to surface. Number 89. Rather than continually making an issue of things with your immediate family and friends, try letting go of your ego investment in favor of a more peaceful point of view. You only need a few seconds to pause and know how much better peace feels. Allow them to be who they are. Letting go of your need to be offended by all that they are or are not. It's just your ego at work. Unconditional love means just that. Love them without any conditions. Number 90. Instead of cursing the past, bless, forgive yourself entirely. Know that all of those experiences were part of the divine design of your life. Number 91. Try not to judge God. Know that hurricanes, tornadoes, crime, and poverty are just as much a part of the divine plan as is our sunny days, calm seas, and compassion and prosperity. Your desire to improve conditions is also a part of the plan, so concentrate on that. That is, improving things that you find distasteful, rather than why certain conditions seem to be wrong, which is just your ego at work telling yourself what it believes should and shouldn't be. All is in divine order, including your right to try to fix what you desire to fix. Number 92. Develop the ability to witness your thoughts by stepping back and watching them enter and exit your mind. Just observing the flow of thoughts will slow the mind down to the still point, and you can experience God, become the witness, cultivate the observer within you, and all that is being observed. Number 93. When you feel an inclination to blame someone else for your circumstances, take an instant to say a prayer of thanks for the lesson. The lesson is to become aware that you are the one experiencing the feeling. Number 94. Remember that whatever you want to know or accomplish in your life is possible if you are truly ready to trust in your divine powers to manifest it. You will find that the appropriate teachers here for you will be guided in the right direction at the right time. Number 95. remember that love is the best antidote for fear and doubt. Therefore, when you experience a moment of fear or doubt, drink yourself a potion of mental love. Remind yourself that you are a holy creation. Number 96. Know that objects cannot give you freedom. They only demand more companions and further enslave you. The idea of purchasing freedom in any way is a false idea. This false idea tells you to expect freedom when you achieve a certain level of financial accumulation. That is called counterfeit freedom. Authentic freedom comes from within, from going to the higher self and allowing that to be the ruling force in your life. Number 97. Free yourself of prejudice. Prejudiced thinking comes from treating your mind like a rental space for the thoughts and beliefs of others. An antidote for toxic prejudging thoughts is to suspend your ego and listen to your higher self. You will begin knowing that no one on this planet is superior or special. In the eyes of God, no one is not special. Number 98. Be aware that nothing will bring about an inner feeling of turmoil faster than allowing yourself to be seduced into fighting or arguing. You always have a choice to argue or not, to confront or not. Choose the path which leads to peace. Number 99. Look into a mirror and say out loud, I love you. I value you. I know that there is much more to you than what I see staring back at me. You will find yourself going beyond the physical you and remove many of your intrusive thoughts about defending yourself and attempting to prove your worth. You are not that face looking back at you in the mirror. You are that which is observing the face, and that doesn't show up in any mirror or on any physical measuring device that we have on this planet. Number 100. Demonstrate tolerance and love by ignoring what may have transpired in the past. Avoid inclination to make someone else wrong by pointing out the fallacies of their point of view with examples from their past. Let go of the desire to win. Cultivate the desire to communicate. And number 101. Knowing that you're not your name, your occupation, or your social security number, you are eternally light and divine regardless of what you have done or failed to do, regardless of what family you come from or what you may have been labeled. In the God intelligence, you are holy and you have a purpose for being here. Stay with that purpose. Know that there are no accidents, and the energy that moves the planet, that moves every thought across your mind, is the same energy that moves the stars across the sky. You are a divine being. This concludes 101 ways you can take a look at transforming your life each and every day. 101 thoughts that you can use, and when you begin to practice these on a daily basis, without telling anyone else about it, without having to write them down, without taking a test, when you just know that each day you are working on transforming, going beyond form, you will understand the magic of knowing that you are not a human being having a spiritual experience, but indeed that it is the other way around. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And these 101 techniques are just ways to help you make that human experience more blissful. God bless you.